Welcome to Level Up with Winnie's Son.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. Happy Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed your three-day weekends. I just feel like they should be every weekend. I don't know how about you, but how do you feel about that? I feel like, having that extra day to sort of relax, just recharge the batteries is amazing. I also want to say a quick happy birthday to my longtime friend, advisor, and accountant, Steve Kirishima, who's based in Los Angeles, who I know is very much busy as this is tax season, but it's never too early and too late to reach out. I said a quick happy birthday to him earlier, and I know I guess he's over on his way to the counter for a birthday burger. And how's your day been so far? I want to welcome my friends at Modern Mom, as you are also now seeing that we're streaming to you so that you can also stay on top of relevant, important business and financial news. Let's start with how the market closed today. So the Dow closed up 63 points, the Nasdaq closed down 47 points, S&P down 2. Good news for many homeowners, though. President Joe Biden has directed federal housing regulators to extend mortgage forbearance programs for an additional 6 months. This is big news. This will actually help prolong foreclosure relief programs, and we hear this today as there's an estimated 70% of mortgage of single-family homes in the United States are actually going to be a part of this equation as the latest COVID relief package continues to make its way through the congressional legislative process. President Biden, as you know, he talked about this during his campaign. He ordered the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the Department of Veteran Affairs, and the Department of Agriculture to extend foreclosures. And what this really means, for those of you wondering, is this means that no foreclosures can take place between now and June 2021. This allows homeowners like yourself to enroll in mortgage payment forbearance programs through June of 2021 as well. And that means that for those of you who are thinking, well, that means I don't have to pay mortgage for 6 months. Not actually true. Unfortunately, that means that these 6 months will probably get added to the extension of your mortgage, or could come due when you either sell your home or you refinance. At that point, then you might need to make payment. But either way, if this is a direction that you want to take, I highly recommend that you reach out to your bank and let them know that this is something that you're looking at. On that note, if you decide, you know what, I'm not going to need that, I'm not going to need to go on mortgage forbearance, keep in mind that if you're able to, refinancing right now makes so much sense, especially if your mortgage rate is currently over 2.5%. Now, I will also say, this is something I just did last week, keep this on your radar. If you don't want to go through the entire refinancing program, you might actually be able to reach out to your lender and ask them for a rate adjustment program. My actually mortgage banker, who's amazing, he helped me with this process. It was super easy. It was so much easier than doing a refinance, but it did require me to make a check and a payment of a little bit of administration fee. So you want to make sure to evaluate that in your decision today. Huge hello to Joshua at YouTube. It's so wonderful to see you. Lena at Periscope as well. So many Modern Mom. It's so great to see you all across the board. Let me tell you, today's such a special treat because I am so happy to be welcoming the one and only Bella Vasta to the show. She's incredible. Not only is she beautiful, but she's just amazing. And let me tell you, for those of you who know anything about social media, you know Bella. Bella is everywhere. Bella, how are you, my friend?
I'm amazing, and you just lit me on fire with that quick market update. I was actually looking at mortgage interest rates recently, so that tip goes a long way. You are amazing. Thank you for that.
Oh, I love that. And I'm going to tell you, Bella, after this, definitely, if you need a contact, I've got some great contacts and help you in that area too. But let me tell you, my friend, I have been on pins and needles waiting for our interview because I can't wait to learn from you today. And everybody who's joining us today, you are in for a treat because Bella's going to teach us how to grow your business and exposure with Facebook groups. Now, many of you probably are like myself, are part of a Facebook group, right? You're a member of a Facebook group, but you don't need a Facebook group. So this is an area that Bella will definitely be able to tell you. She doesn't just do this well, she does it umptly well. Like I don't even know. She's like the best of the best in this area. Let me tell you, Bella is the dynamic personality behind the one-woman coaching program, a company called Jump Consulting. I'm just jumping because this is such a jump from what I'm used to. Jump Consulting. You're not going to forget that now. So since 2002, Bella has been a trailblazer in the pet industry consulting with multi-million-dollar companies to hundreds of small businesses. She's an author, podcast host, blogger. She's been featured on NBC, CBS, Fox, NPR, Entrepreneur Magazine. The list goes on and on. After the birth of her 12-ounce micro preemie daughter, Bella sold her pet sitting business and now lives out her passion to inspire, motivate, and challenge business owners through her speaking, her coaching, and her consulting. And I got to say, her Facebook page is incredible. You're going to love it. Wait till you see. You definitely want to follow her. Look at this. Look at this. So much fun, Miss Bella.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You are so sweet.
It's all true, though. And I got to tell you, I had a chance to collaborate with you not long ago and talk to your community. Talk about such a great group. Not only are they really motivated and excited, and there's really a great community, but they're super smart people. So I love spending that quality time with them. And so for you to lead a group like that says a lot about you. So we're going to start with the quote of the day. This is how we do it, right? Lena knows. And the quote is, you go back a few hundred years, what we take for granted today would seem like magic. Being able to talk to people over long distances, to transmit images, flying, assessing vast amounts of data like an oracle. These are all things that would have been considered magic a few hundred years ago. So do you think it was, whose quote was this? Billie Jean King, Jeff Bezos, Tony Hsieh, Jessica Alba, Elon Musk, Bono. So I would love to see those of you who are with us. Let's see. We see Borukur, Retro Gamers. Great to see you. Lena, we see you. Josh, we see you. We see so many of you. I would like to see if you could guess. You feel free to write the number in, or you can write the name in. And then we're going to ask Bella. Bella, I just have a good feeling. I just feel like this is something that you know very, very well. You're a woman of many talents. Bella, if you were to guess, who would you guess?
You're so funny. So the name that stands out to me for two reasons is Elon Musk. One, because I'm actually currently listening to his biography. And two, because there's a word that he uses a lot called vast in there. So that's my best guess, but I don't know. The chances that I might be wrong are pretty high because there's 6. So we'll see.
So you're saying he uses the word that a lot?
Vast.
Oh, vast. Gotcha.
He uses that word a lot.
Okay.
So,
I know Lena's laughing at me.
I know.
Well, you're reading him right now. Okay. Well, let me just say that Lena also thinks it says Elon. Lena, how do you know it's Elon? Like, what makes? Oh my goodness, Joshua also thinks it's Elon. All right. There's a vote for Bono. Great. Jeff Bezos as well. Bezoya. His name just got more elegant there. All right. So Lena says he is a pioneer. Well, this is refreshing because we haven't had someone actually guess right in a very long time. And let me just say, Bella, you are on fire today because it absolutely was Elon Musk. And just think about how far we've come, right? It is truly, Lena says he always looks at a bigger picture, but I'm guessing it's a bigger picture. I love it. Congratulations, Lena. You were absolutely correct as well. So let's talk about this, Bella. So you're listening to his biography on audio. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Audible. I try to do at least 2 books a month, and I'm now like in this kick. Before it was like motivational mindset stuff, but now I'm into like listening to like people's lives and how they got to where they are, because I find it ridiculously inspiring. So, and it also helps me not forget that I'm like working out or cooking or doing laundry, all those sexy things that we love doing.
I love it. I know I used to say, like, I don't watch television except when I'm on the elliptical machine. That's my only, but now I've been starting to do this other thing. So I have to concentrate working out now. Well, let me ask you this. So before Elon's biography, which one do you feel like is a must listen to before this one?
Oh, you know what? It was a really big commitment, but it was The Promised Land, Barack Obama's one. That was like 36 hours or something, maybe 30 hours. It was up there. It was very, very long, but it it was very it gave a lot of perspective of things, you know. It was really neat. Yeah.
I love
I
that. So it makes you
love
think.
learning.
Well, I love Barack Obama, so I think that I'm gonna definitely put that on the list. I love that. I would love to read or listen to Michelle's as well. Well, let me ask you this,
Yours is
Bella.
good too.
Hers
Done
is
that
good
one.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lena's saying she's adding it now. I know we need to do this, Lena. This is exciting. I'm loving it. And you'll have to tell us what you think about Elon. So how far are you in his biography?
I'm right about where they passed up a deal to sell PayPal, and that's where I'm at right now. So
And so
yeah,
far, what do you think? Pretty good?
yeah, definitely. Uh-huh.
Good, good. All right, Bella. Well, we are going to learn about Facebook groups from you today because I think this is an area that maybe we've been part of groups for a very long time, but it just seems like where do you even begin? And so,
Right.
what I'd love to hear you talk about is what makes Facebook groups unique versus other options. We always talk about like other ways of marketing, other ways of branding, social media. What in your mind works, and why does it work so well for you?
Right. Well, thank you so much. I like to start off with a little bit of an analogy, Winnie, because I think it's really easy for everyone to kind of picture this. So I want you to picture your Facebook page like the front yard and your Facebook group like the backyard. When we come into someone's backyard, usually we're invited, right? We don't just walk back there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have like the solar panel man knocking on your back door. If you did, you'd probably call the cops and be like, get out. And then, usually there's some sort of a gate or a barrier to get back into the backyard. Likewise, you will also would not be having a cookout on your front yard or build your in-ground swimming pool up there and be in your bathing suit up there, right? Our
Mm-hmm.
backyard is someplace where we feel secure. We feel secure, where we invite people in and where we entertain and we engage and we have fun with people. Our front yard is really for anyone passing by to maybe see a quick sign that says like Happy Easter or Merry Christmas. You don't actually expect people to sit there and engage with you and talk with you most settings, okay? So your Facebook
Right.
group is like your backyard, your page is like your front yard. And I think we can wrap our mind and start the discussion that way. You can kind of understand that the Facebook group is where the magic happens because we have a false sense of reality back there. Further, it's not like your page where you're inviting people to your backyard to sit down and listen to you like you're doing a lecture. In fact, you're
Mm-hmm.
actually trying to get them to like each other. I'm introducing you to Fred and to Susie,
Hi,
and I
Fred.
hope that you guys start talking together, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not like come back here and listen to me. And in that group, in the backyard, I'm going to go to Costco and make sure I've got beer and wine and burgers and whatever it might be to entertain you guys and feed you just like you would in a group. Now, to take it a step further, because I could keep going or I could stop, each each backyard party will also have a theme too. Is it a kids party? Is it an adult party? And so there comes a lot of strategy and foresight, the very long game being in a group. It is not just reposting what you post in the front yard into your backyard. Does that make sense, Winnie?
That makes perfect sense. I love that analogy. It makes perfect sense when you say it that way. It's a very more intimate relationship. People are safe. You can have these discussions. Let me ask you this. I'm part of several groups. Like, there's the moms group, there's a Disney group, and those fun groups. It just seems like it would take a lot of time to, number one, attract people into your group, right? And then it would take a lot more time even to maintain that group. How much of that is accurate?
It most certainly does, but it's kind of the equation of you get out what you put in, right? But then you can
Mm-hmm.
also be doing it like a chicken with your head cut off every single day, or you could sit down and strategize for the next week or the next month or the next quarter. So it really kind of depends on why do you have the group? What is your goal of having the group? Yes, you do need a goal to have a group. Otherwise, you're just, floundering around. So it depends. I mean, some people are popping every day and there's 50,000 people in there and there are like, I don't know, like 50 new posts a day. Other groups, it's just a couple of posts a week. So it really depends. Again, are you going to have a rager kegger in your backyard? Or are you having an intimate dinner party with 10 of your closest friends and it's quiet and, it's literally what kind of backyard party are you going to have?
I
Yeah,
love
we
that.
started
Well,
with
the introvert in me likes a smaller
yeah.
group of party for sure. I love this. Well, let me ask you this. So, how do you know what your members want? I mean, you have this Facebook group. Where do you start to figure out that you're adding value to your group? Like, I have a huge community on Twitter, right? That's part of our tweet chat. If we were to
Mhm.
migrate over to creating a Facebook group, for example, like, where do you start if you're trying to figure out how to bring your group the most value?
Right. So kind of translation between different platforms, as you know, is kind of like different language, right? We're kind of saying the same message at the end of the day, but my tweet is going to be a lot smaller than maybe the discussion that we'll have in Facebook group. So migrating, I don't know if I'd exactly migrate, but we could, hey, for those of you who want to go a little deeper and hang out by the fire, so to speak, you can come into our Facebook group where we get a little bit more intimate and congregate a little bit more closer together, because it's very hard. Everything's popping, like say in Twitter, right? It's hard to get people together, but you could actually have a whole thread going. How do you know? There's a couple different ways. One, ask them. Just like, and I'm going to keep going back to this analogy, you guys. This is why I start out with it, okay? Because it makes sense. I have yet to have anybody disprove this in like 2 or 3 years since I've been saying it. When you come in my backyard, am I going to just hand you a beer when all you really actually like is wine? No, I'm going to say, would you like beer or wine? Right? Or whatever else it might be. I'm going to ask you. That's what a nice host does. So there's a couple ways you can ask people. Once they're in the group, you can ask them just by a post or by a poll, and give them options to choose from. What do you want to hear about next week or next month? Or what do you want the next video to be like? But if when they're actually coming in, there are 3 questions that Facebook allows you to ask. And those are a gold mine if you use them properly. A lot of people I see, they don't. And a lot of these brands and these corporations that I work with, when they switch their strategy to actually using that, they got content for days. Well, actually, probably more like weeks and months, quite honestly, because the people will tell you whenever you ask anyone for help, people always love to help. It's just in our nature most of the time. So like, what is your biggest challenge around, boom, like your topic, right? And people will tell you. And then what happens is you start getting those common themes. And just like, in social media, we have social media buckets where I call them buckets or topics, right? So I'm going to talk about these 5 things all the time. So then that helps you create content, because while you're out and about in the world and something happens, you're like, ooh, that'd be really good for my group, because you're already conscious that is a topic that your community is interested in. Does that resonate with anyone? Are you guys picking up what I'm throwing down?
No, I'm loving this. I love this content because this is going to be my next question. I think this is something that a lot of us watching are thinking this, especially a lot of business owners, maybe, solo practitioners, maybe you're starting a side hustle. You're listening to Bella. You're like, okay, got it. I got Facebook. I got that. We need to ask those 3 questions from the get-go. I got that when they come in. I got to be a good host. I got to ask them what they're interested in. But let me ask you this, Bella. I mean, we've all got a lot of things to do. But and a lot of things pay us, and we've got kids and families. How do you monetize a group?
Yeah, so it's another really great question. And it all goes down to strategy. So a lot of the brands that I work with, they're like, hey, we want to have a group. Why? Because we think we're supposed to have a group, because we got to be everywhere. I'm like, okay, what is the purpose? Okay. And where in the funnel is this? Is this like you buy a product and then you get into the group? Is this a awareness group where I just want to invite everyone and their mother and brother and their neighbor in there and get it as large as possible, and then kind of make an offer to move people into another group and then into another group? So it kind of depends. I really believe in using Facebook groups as funnels, or either all of them as funnels, like a large one, a medium one, and a specific one. And the deeper you get, the more money they're paying, so to speak, because they're getting more direct access to you. Like you said, and I'm going to go back to the analogy, you want to have a dinner party with 10 people like together, and we can all learn and grow together, kind of like a mastermind maybe? Or do you want to have a rager kegger and try to find me doing a keg stand? No, I'm just kidding. I would be doing a keg stand, but I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. I don't do keggers. You know what I mean, though? Like, you want to go try to find me like this party where like lots of stuff's going on. Like, you can't really. So you want to kind of get more intimate with the groups. So the way that you can monetize them is you pay people, in order to join the group, you have to pay. Or in order to join the group, you have to have bought a product or service of yours, and then like that's a support group. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. And again, there's no right or wrong. It just goes back down to your strategy. So before you ever start this, you need to say like, this is how I want it to happen. And I can't stress enough, going back to those 3 questions, Winnie, I actually have a really cool tool. If you go to bellavasta.com/GF for group funnels. And then I have a video on there, and it shows you how with a click of a button, you can get all of that information into a spreadsheet. And that spreadsheet alone, because a lot of times people, they think that Facebook's storing it somewhere and they're not. So don't make that mistake, because people are. And then the other thing they're doing is taking. Thank you guys, you're on it. I love your producer. And the other thing is that people are spending a lot of time, and I say spend, and I know you'll appreciate that. Is copy and pasting that information. Don't fall victim to that in a way. So it's a plugin. Okay. It's $300 a one time. You can use it for as many groups as you have and for as long as you want. And then if you're a real ninja, you can hook it up to Zapier. And so Zapier is like, hey, you got a new cell on this spreadsheet. I'm going to dump you into your email client and send them a welcome email. Welcome to the group. Hi, I'm Bella Vasta. Thanks for joining. This is what you can expect. And it just automates the whole entire process, you guys. So I'm all about, I love working this much for this much. And that usually comes down to systems and processes. And just because it's a Facebook group, you can systematize it. And I encourage you to do so.
I love that.
Saying, how do we make money off of it? That's how you don't lose money off of it. So yeah.
Well, not losing money definitely equates to making money. So I love what you're sharing, Bella. This is awesome. Well, I'm going to selfishly ask you another question, because I feel like, we need more value. We're getting so much value out of our time together. And that is, so share with us some tools that you think aren't being used enough for Facebook groups, because we're definitely taking notes here.
100%. So I'm going to give you the advice I just gave this major company that I'm working with. And they have all these Facebook Lives like once a week, and they've never created an event for it. That is crucial. So your people, your community needs to know what's coming up. Like, I wouldn't invite you to my backyard and not tell you what the schedule is, or when we're having cake, or when the clown is appearing, right? So you want to you can create events inside your group, and I encourage you to do so. And you can even invite up to 500 people at once. And so they all get these notifications. So guess what? They're going to show up to your live, guys. That's awesome. Another thing I think is very underused is the cover profile. A lot of times we just put it up there and it's very static and it doesn't change for days, weeks, months, years, and it's just there. That is a great place where when people are going to your group, they see it. Okay. So if you have an event coming up, go ahead and update it. If you just want to keep it fresh so they know that you're up with the times, put a quote on there, or put a call to action on there, or put a riddle on there. And at the end of the week, the people that answered it right get a prize, or something. That's a lot of real estate that's really not taken care of. And then another one is units, and they're changing the name. I forget what they're changing the name to. I don't know why they're changing the name, but whatever. But the unit section is something you can turn on when you have a learning group. And what that'll do is you can categorize your posts. So you know how on Facebook, it's really annoying that the minute you post something, it starts decaying. And then you're trying to search for it, and then you can't search for it, and you can't find it. Well, you can create a unit with a topic or something, and then you can file it in that unit. So, you want to know about mortgage interest rates? Go to the mortgage unit, and you can see everything that we do. Now, when you post it, you go up to the top right corner and say, add this to the unit, and you add it to the unit. I know Molly Mahoney, she uses it in her paid group to deliver her courses. So her courses are week 1, week 2, week 3, or module 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say, the events tab, the cover, and the units. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, you guys, because there's a lot more.
I love it. And we're definitely going to recommend that you actually jump on bellavasta.com, BELLAVASTA.com, because you're definitely going to want to follow Bella and learn more. But I also know that Bella is a very busy lady, so we got to get her going. She's got another meeting. So let's go to our speed round. All right. What do you think? Let's have some fun with Bella.
Let's do it.
We just thought we'd have a little fun with you today. So let's ask you this. Bella, what's one thing that you've learned during this pandemic, and where did you go to learn this?
So one thing I tried to learn was how to do my own nails when my nail salon cut down. And so I went out and I got my own nail dryer. It was a nightmare. Never again.
Really?
So I'm taking
Never
your
again?
question and putting it in the negative. I didn't really. I'm in Arizona, so we were all in denial that there was even a pandemic here. So
I hear you. I hear you. Okay, second question, my friend. Post-pandemic, Bella, you're so inspiring that your story is being made into a movie. Who do you have play your part? Who would you love to see play your part? And those of you who are watching, definitely jump in and add in who you think should play Bella as well. Yes,
the first person I thought of, and it's not any look-alike or anything, it's Julia Roberts, only because when I look at her and she's in a role, I never see Julia. I always see whoever she's playing because she's such a good actress. So
she is incredible. I was actually going to say Reese Witherspoon too. I don't know. You gained that with that very smart, bright, happy vibe, sunshiny vibe. Well, let me tell you, Bella's got to run. So I'm going to say a huge thank you to Bella. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. You're such a blessing, and definitely want to have you come back because I had way more questions to ask you for sure. But here's where you can follow her. And see, Joshua says Reese Witherspoon as well. All right, Bella, where do you think is the best place for them to follow you that you prefer to stay in touch?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on Instagram all day long. So I'm just Bella Vasta over there. Feel free to hit me up, message me. And once we open up to speaking, I love that. I was just telling you, I miss so much speaking on stage, and this is totally my jam and helping grow corporations. But I also do a lot of consulting, especially right now, helping people strategize the way that they can do that. So thanks so much for sharing that.
Well, thank you so much, Bella. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and catch replays and strategy videos. You have here our live stream, which now streams on 6 different platforms, and also now plus Modern Mom, which we're so excited to be a part of every day that the financial markets are open. Thank you for watching, supporting our program, and sharing the show with those that you love and care about. And as a reminder, you can find full episodes of Level Up on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, and Roku. So be well, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow, my friends. Take care now.